So the idea that Yeshua is the chief expression of the pattern, and understanding him as an expression of the pattern reveals to us that we should go on according to the same pattern. So I want to talk about the usefulness of this concept as a basic element. Okay? Yeshua did not come to do a strange thing never to be repeated. He didn't. That is a lie. And that is how people tend to talk about him. People will emphasize the uniqueness of the Messiah and his role so that they don't have to perform any deeds that are like it. Mm-hmm. The New Testament doesn't understand the gospel this way. Luke wrote the Gospel of Luke and the book of Acts. And he understood Yeshua as being a chief expression of the pattern that went all the way back to Moshe, extended backward to Moshe. But then as he's writing Acts, this pattern of Yeshua even exalted to the right hand of the Father and then coming and possessing people, the practical reason he needed to possess people is to recreate his own life in them. This is why he's the way. We're now going to take this same path that I ran ahead of you on. Are you ready for Isaiah 53? The first example of this is, it gets repeated over and over again. When they're beaten, when they're flogged, they actually have to do what Messiah did in front of Sanhedrin. They had to go through the things Messiah went through. Okay? And not only that, the chief expression of this, Stephen. Go back and read the martyrdom of Stephen. Read how he was murdered. Read the correlations between how Yeshua was accused, said to be worthy of death, and killed, and the things he said when he dies. And look at what Stephen does. Luke doesn't understand Yeshua as this one-off, never to be repeated, but rather this brand new first fruit instantiation of a movement that everyone who follows Yeshua must also manifest. This is why Paul is able to say with such great, it's incredible confidence. He isn't saying this with like the flipping of a coin probabilistic confidence. He means as a law, if you want to enter into the kingdom of heaven, you too must suffer. It's synonymous with saying you have to follow Yeshua. Okay? You have to be, it's being conformed to his image. So this is very, very useful stuff. I'll take you as well to, so we saw it in Stephen, okay? So Luke says directly in 23 that Isaiah 53:12 has to be fulfilled by Yeshua in his death. Luke, who writes the Gospel of Acts, demonstrates how Stephen is a similar archetype, okay? Paul is going to write about how they too have to suffer in order to enter the kingdom of heaven. Let's jump ahead to, you can go to Hebrews 11. It is the way of God that you would suffer and not be found to be, the world's not worthy of you. You can't escape it. To follow God is to suffer because you are a fulfillment of his pattern. You're an expression of his pattern. And in this age, it will happen. It is going to manifest itself that way. And then lastly, how is Isaiah 53 used in 1 Peter? It is not used to talk about a strange thing Yeshua did. It is literally, it then goes on to say, consider what Yeshua did so that you would imitate it. And then just quotes Isaiah 53. Apparently, the Apostle Peter thinks you guys should be doing Isaiah 53. Okay? So that we are an extension of it. In this true sense, we are his body. We are him. And we're only equipped to be him and imitate him by walking according to the same path he walked. He is Torah incarnate. His Torah is put inside us. He himself dwells inside us. When the voice of Yeshua says in your conscience, go to the left, go to the right. When he speaks to you this way, he is not telling you to do anything other than conform to his image. He's telling you, be like me in this context. Okay, GoPro, stop recording.